I'm Alain Boublil. I write the book and the lyrics for musicals. First move, the first extraordinary surprise is when suddenly you have Les Misérables, which was a very successful musical in Paris, and we start working the English lyrics, and suddenly when we decide that Herbert Kratzmer, who wrote this amazing classical lyrics now for Les Misérables, because I didn't participate, except I was part of it, the process, advising, giving titles and all, but he wrote the lyrics, and it was amazing. So I was saying, oh my God, sometimes this section is maybe better. And then we started to write new sections, which were not in the French show. And we discussed all that at length and all. So suddenly I said, oh, okay, so we thought we had finished. And in fact, it was the beginning. That took us years. And Cameron McIntosh, I remember, said, I will only do it if you accept to be in London all the time. Because I will not do it only with my English team. You have to be here because you are the source, what he calls the original impulse. So we did agree to that. Starting from that, the people started to call, and Tokyo called. And okay, so we realized that this was going to be translated. And then I took the huge responsibility as the original lyricist to be reading, correcting, asking for explanation about translation. I spent extraordinary nights with the old lady, which was a major writer in Japan, for how to put in Japanese something which was in a language which has no rhymes, which is the case of the Japanese language. It was very interesting, sometimes mind-boggling. It was fun. That was the first one. Then it became in every language. Then I had to ask for literal translations in English of whatever language. The last one was my wife, who is the Paris original Cosette, directing the Slovak version of Les Misérables, and me reading the English translation of the Slovak. Well, forget about that. But you see, but then that went through 27 different languages. So, I had to have someone in London who reads the first translation and all that, and then shows me all the discrepancies and all that. But to this day, I'm still doing that very, very precise, accurate, and minutious rereading work with other people of all the translation. And I will do it always, because that's one of the reasons why the show is still at that level. Exactly the same that Cameron and his team of numerous people, but always under his supervision, personal supervision, look at every show to make sure that it is at the level of the original production. And that's why you hear about Les Misérables, Miss Saigon. The line which I love is, the show is as fresh as when it started.